Hello, Vikings! Are you finding it confusing about where to find things in Google Classroom right now? Or, when you do find things, are you confused about what it is you have to complete, or what it is you have to submit, or how you're supposed to submit those things? Well, this video is intended to walk you through what you should be doing right now with Google Classroom. So next week, when we start quarter 4, you will start to get actual grades in the gradebook in PowerSchool for items in Google Classroom. So, on a typical day, when you are trying to complete your math, this is what you should be doing. So, you bring up Google Classroom. You come to a page that looks similar to mine. The student view might be a slightly bit different. But the first thing I would do is check the streams for any announcements or any daily questions that you need to respond to. So my intention is that each day through the week, Monday through Friday, I'll be putting up a new daily question as I've been doing, and you just need to leave a response in the comments for those. So up here I've got some announcements that I made about things for today and coming up starting next week. Here is a daily question that I posted, and you can see here are some of the responses. Kieran was asking some questions here from second period, and I was responding back to those. Here's the daily question from the day before. And as we keep going down, again, just little announcements about things being made here. So the only thing that you really have to do with that is just respond to the daily questions. You're going to be getting 5 points for each daily question. You get a full 5 points if you answer the day that it was posted. If you answer late to any of those questions, you get 3 out of the 5 points. But obviously, still responding late is better than not at all, which would get you 0 points for that particular question. Okay, from there, what you're going to want to do next, and what is kind of most important throughout the week to be able to get the learning and education of the new content, is finding the classwork tab. So you want to find this classwork tab, and again, your screen might look slightly bit different than mine, just based off of you having the student view versus the teacher view that I have here. So I've broken it into 2 sections here. I may add another section for weekly questions just so that those are all grouped together. But for now, just these 2 sections. So the distance learning guidelines and expectations, that answers a lot of the questions that I'm going to be going over here in this video. So if you are confused about something I said in the video, maybe try going in here and reading these distance learning guidelines and expectations because it kind of spells out each of the different parts of the Google Classroom page in that, and also just kind of what the expectations and requirements are. But up here in the distance learning weekly assignments, this is really the heart of your new weekly content and curriculum. So there was the week 1 distance learning right here, and you'll see that the Google Doc that goes along with that is attached. Here's week 2 that we're currently in right now. And so if you click on that and then open up the doc, it's going to bring you to the document. And yours is going to be a view only when you come to this. And so although it's a view only, there's nothing that you need to actually type on this. See right up here I can see, so it looks like, I believe this is Jenna. Yes, okay, Jenna and Danielle and Kieran and Natalie. Are all currently right now viewing the doc. So that's kind of a nice way for me to monitor throughout the day, kind of who's been viewing and checking it out. But this is all of your resources, right? And so I've told you what type of resource they are. Up here at the top, it tells you what week this should be completed during. So if you want to make sure that you're on the proper week and completing that stuff, that's where you find it. So what type of assignment it is, the title or topic of the assignment, and then over here is the actual resource that you need to go to. So what I've started doing for the notes is I've put in the PDF version. So if you can only view PDFs from your device, then use those. If you're looking for the Google Doc version because you want to be able to type into the notes some of the information, when you click on that, it'll give you the option, anything that's in blue and underlined are hyperlinks to the actual documents themselves. So you click on that, you open one up. Now, when you open yours up, once again, it's going to be a view only, and you're not going to be able to type on this. And you're going to be like, Mr. Couch, what is the point of putting that up there and saying that I can type in it? Well, in order to be able to type into it, what you're going to want to do is come over here to File, and then click Make a Copy. When you do that, it's going to default the copy name to Copy Of. You could keep it as that, or you could change it and put your name in the front of it, or your name at the end of it, or wherever you'd like, but then click OK. When you make a copy of it, it's now your document, and you can edit it or change it however you'd like. So then you'd be able to type into it and make all the adjustments that you need to make. Okay? So if you want the Google Doc version of the notes so that you can actually type onto it, open that version up, go to File, and then click Make a New Copy. Okay? And that'll allow you to actually type on the document. All right, going back to the doc itself. So to be able to fill out the notes, below every set of notes, there's going to be a video. So I'm making these awesome YouTube videos. If you haven't been watching them, you really should be, because they're just as exciting as the lectures were in class. Or if you're needing something to help you go to sleep at night because you're just laying there restlessly, go ahead and throw those videos on. I know my voice is great at getting you guys to fall asleep because you guys do it all the time in my class. But anyways, click those videos. It'll take you to the YouTube link. You can watch the video. You can fill out the notes. Now, if you don't have access to a printer and you can't print out, or if you can't get the Google Doc version of the notes to come up so that you can type into it, you don't have to actually print anything out for any of this. So I've been getting a lot of questions about how do I print this stuff out, or what if I can't print this stuff out? How do I turn all these things into you? As of right now, the only requirement for submitting to me each week is your answers to those daily questions I'm posting in the stream, and the quiz form that's posted at the bottom of this doc every week. Down here, quiz form. So entering your responses to that and submitting that to me. As far as like printed out copies of things, if you don't have access to a printer and you can't print these documents out or these worksheets out, just grab a sheet of paper. Some blank paper will do. Maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea just to have a math notebook if you can get a math notebook and just start keeping all of your math in a notebook. But simply copy down the examples in the notes. When I go over them in the video, you do the examples with me and make sure that you have those. That way you have resources to be able to view all that stuff with. Okay? Now, I don't want to come out necessarily and say that it's optional to do the notes and the assignments. But at this point, again, I'm not requiring you to have to turn any of those things in. So it's kind of like showing up to basketball practice, and if you choose not to do any of the practice at practice, then you're not going to be able to be part of the plays when they actually get put into the games, because you're not going to know what to do. So it's, although it's kind of optional in a way of doing it, the only way you're really going to be successful with the quiz and to be able to achieve full points for the quiz at the end of the week is if you know what you're doing. So I would highly suggest taking the notes, filling out what you can, and then in the worksheets, when you actually go to the worksheet, it's just like the worksheets from class. Again, you don't have to print these things out and complete them on paper to turn into me at some point, but copy down some of the problems. Copy down, maybe a couple problems from each section and complete those problems. Do what you can with it. If you're trying to complete the problems and you don't know how to do it and you're confused and you need help, ask me for help. Okay, there's several different ways I can be contacted. If you go to your Gmail account and you go over here and click the compose for a new email, when it comes up with the to part of things, if you type Couch in there, it's going to populate with me, Stephen Couch. When you click on that, that's my email address. It's already in there. You can type in that you need some help with a question. You can also have the option of using Google Hangouts. So there's some people that have been communicating with me through Google Hangouts already. That's a great way to do it. I have it set up on my phone, so it'll alert me on my phone when you send me a message in Google Hangouts, and I should be able to respond to you. I also get alerts for all of my emails. If you don't have the Gmail app downloaded on your phone, I would suggest doing that and turn on the notifications so that you get notifications for things when new things come out. Okay, you can do the same thing with Google Classroom and have it set up to give you notifications when new things happen on Google Classroom. I know my phone is blowing up with notifications right now throughout the day because every time someone posts something or responds to something, it's giving me a notification. But I think it's just worth it to do it right now just so that you get all that information. Okay, so you're completing the worksheets, completing some problems from them, not killing yourself on the content and too much. But once you're finally ready, you need to find the quiz down here towards the bottom of the doc. The quiz will have the PDF version of the quiz. You're going to go in, you're going to copy down all the problems or print it out, or just write down your answers as you go along with it. And as you're completing the problems and you're getting your answers, then when you're ready, you're going to come over here and just like we did in class, you're going to click on the link to the form. It's going to bring you to the form. You're going to fill it out just like you would in class, answer all the questions, and then at the very bottom, make sure that you click submit. You can check your answers just like you did in class. Now, let's say you make some mistakes. Next week for the quizzes, you will need to be getting certain scores on the quizzes in order to receive the full amount of points. Okay, and the rubric that I'll push out at some point will explain exactly what percentage you have to get in order to get the full number of points. And then if you don't get that percentage, then getting 50 to 70% gets you so many points, and so on and so forth. But anyways, if you do make mistakes, just like in class where you could correct the quizzes, you'll be able to correct the quizzes with this online platform as well. Okay, so simply write down your corrections on a piece of paper, use your phone or your camera or whatever form you can, and shoot that over to me. Okay, shoot me a picture of it, or if that doesn't work, then just type an email to me. Okay, or make a comment somewhere. Whatever way you can do it, let me know what problems you missed, what the mistakes were that you made, and how you would fix it. Okay, and what the correct answer would be. Again, for the corrections of the quiz, it does need to be that version where you're showing me some work for things. Okay, I have also put some related Khan Academy assignments down below. Those are optional things to be able to complete, but if you're looking for more practice, or the nice thing about Khan Academy is they do have those videos that go along with things to help explain. So if you didn't get it from my video and my explanation on the notes, you can click those videos and be able to watch those. Okay, but again, the only two things that are required to have to submit throughout the week: the daily questions, responding to those, and the quiz form at the end of the week. Okay, so I hope that helps explain things a little bit better. I hope you have a better idea of where to find things. Again, next week we will be starting to assign grades for the work you're doing. This week, since we're still in quarter 3, everything you're doing right now is just adding points to all the quarter 3 assignments that were already there. So it's basically like extra credit, and you're just getting a lot of extra credit for the stuff you're completing this week. So kudos to those of you that have been doing that. If you haven't been doing those things, well, try to get it done by this weekend so that I can put those points in the grade book for quarter 3, and make sure that you know what you're doing for next week when it's quarter 4, and the grade for quarter 4 will start to count towards actually doing those things. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Good luck. Send me emails. Hit me up in Google Hangouts. Oh, one other thing, Google Meets every Wednesday, 10 to 11. I'm doing a live Google Meet to help with homework. So I post the link for that in the stream. I'm still trying to figure out the way so that it'll email you the link as well ahead of time. That way you'll have that. Okay? Hope you guys are all doing well. I hope that helps to explain a few things about my classroom. And again, look for that new doc to be coming out that explains the rubric for how you're going to be graded for quarter 4.